Hey everybody, John here, Old Hickory Forge, welcome back. This is just going to be a guide on forging your own rounding hammer by hand. This is going to be a 3.5 pound hammer. I've got a 2.5 pound one, but I'd really like something heavier for breaking down big stock quicker. And if you're like me and you don't have a power hammer or a press, or you work alone all the time, making hammers is a bit of an undertaking, but it can certainly be done. You're just going to need some tools. So, you're going to need a pair of tongs for manipulating your billet. These kind of suck because I made them. Pair of hammer eye tongs is also useful. I made these too. They don't suck quite as bad. You're going to need a drift for shaping the eye. This was made in yesterday's video. And you're going to need a punch. This I made out of a ball peen hammer. And you'll see how this is used in the video. And if you want to put fullers in your hammers, like this one here, they're just aesthetically pleasing. And I do feel like they kind of distribute the weight of the hammer a little bit differently. You're going to need a spring swage. This is just some square tubing for a hardy post, mild steel spring, mild steel 3/4 inch round dies. Drops into the hardy hole of the anvil. And this way, it's the same thing as if I was using a top and bottom fuller with a striker. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Stick with me, you'll see how it's done. So this is the piece of stock we're going to be using. It's a piece of 2-inch round 1045. I've got it marked off at 4.25 inches. A 4.25 inch long by 2-inch wide billet is going to give you a 3.5 pound hammer. So I got this guy chucked up in the bandsaw good and tight. We'll just let that go and it'll shut off automatically when it's done. So first heat, all you're trying to do is just hammer on top a little bit. This is going to help it sit flat when you go to punch the eye. And I'm not trying to take it down to a square stock or anything like that. I just want it to sit still without rolling over on me too easy. So let's hit it a little bit more. That'll do. And all you want to do once you got it square is just take your punch, line the center. Looks pretty good. And just give it a light tap to mark it. To come that way just a little bit. You could stop everything you were doing and wait for it to cool and use a center punch to do this, but I find this works fine. I just do it by eye, and I've never had a problem getting a good clean center hole. So, see our mark right there? That's where we're going to do our start punching our hole at. So now it's time to start punching out this hole, so we're just going to lay our billet down, find our mark. Give it a good stiff pop. At the end, make sure you're going straight. Looks good. You want to turn it around every few blows to keep your hole getting centered, as well as going down straight. So once I get a hole established, I'll actually do the bulk of my punching over here on the striking anvil. Because it's slightly lower for this exact reason. It lets you get a much more complete swing. So 3 hits. Turn. 3 hits. Pull off your punch. That's the technique I use. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through, so I'm just going to turn over and start punching from this side. Same as before, I'm just lining it up by eye. And if you've lined your holes up properly, whenever you start punching from the second side, you just start to be bulging a slug through that first hole. So you see, this is where we started punching from the other side. That's where it's going to line up. So just keep at it and shoot all that material out of there. We'll be good to go. So we're just about through. That slug's starting to come loose. Hopefully we'll get it on this heat. So there's our slug. That's the only material we lose in the whole process. And we got a nice clean hammer eye. Or the beginnings of one anyway, we still got to drift it. So, to start drifting my eye, I'm going to use the striking anvil, just like I did with the punching, so I can get a longer swing. Put it up over the hardy hole. Turn it over from the other side. I've got the side drifted about halfway where I want it. So next thing we're going to do is start making the faces of the hammer, the round and flat dies. So just putting our drift in to a little hole. We'll up end our piece, and just like we did with the jeweler's hammer, we'll start around the edges, trying to dome that out. Slowly working our way towards the center. So, see what we got? We got the beginnings of a round die and a flat die. So as you're creating that domed face, the edges are going to roll over on you and you got to square it back up. This is where a pair of hammer eye tongs comes in handy. I can just roll the thing around really easily. It's just a lot of back and forth between doming it out and keeping those edges clean. So we'll keep working. So we're looking pretty good with this round die. This should be our last heat. So I'm working close to the center now. So there we go. We got our round die pretty much defined. It's a little off, but I can fix that on the grinder. Flat die is good to go. Next thing we're going to do is keep drifting this eye and start spreading these cheeks out. Start forming the cheeks. Just going to drop our drift in. Set it in there, it's a little hole. Then we're going to take our cross bead. So at this stage, we're just going to keep spreading the cheeks of the hammer using the cross beam. If I had a striker, I'd be using a top and bottom fuller for this, but I don't, so this is what we got. So you see how the hammer's starting to look a little more streamlined, and the cheeks are starting to widen up. So I've got the eye of this hammer shaped just about where I want it. I'll do a little bit more cleanup in the final stages, but now it's time to do the fullers. So I got my spring swage. Drop it in the hardy hole. In here, find where I want those fullers to be. Right about there should do it. A good stiff blow. This is going to do the same thing as if you were working with a top and bottom fuller with a striker. So it's a good idea to go ahead and get your first set of fullers all the way where you want them before you try to start the second set. That'll give you a better point of reference. Slide it into your first fullers, slowly turn it 90 degrees, and then start your second set. So there we go. We got nice, clean, pretty looking fullers on one side. I'm not going to bother showing you the other side because it's the exact same thing. But anyway, that's what we're going after. I'll bring it back when it's ready. So I got both sets of fullers in the way I want them. So I'm just going to take a heat or two, nicely drift them and true up the faces a little more. Like we did before, upend it. Got round die. Second to last heat, hopefully. Drift from the bottom. Dress that up. So, last heat, hopefully. Bad. Alright, while I'm here, we're going to go ahead and stamp the part. Right now I'm using a set of letter punches. I'm in the process of having a custom touch mark made, but for now this is the way I got to do it. We got J. there we go. 3.5 pound rounding hammerhead, all done by hand. No power hammer, no striker. Fullers ain't the prettiest, but this hammer's for me, so I'm not too worried about it. If I was selling this, I'd take much more time to clean it up. But the eye's looking good. It's good and centered. Round die is relatively round. You know, it's round enough to follow the profile on the grinder. Flat die is good and flat. So, yeah, I'll just throw this guy in the forge, let it normalize, and I'll probably call it for this video here because it's getting kind of long. I'll do heat treat and handling another episode. But anyway, if you liked what you saw, like and subscribe to see the rest of the hammer builds as well as a bunch of other more cool stuff I got coming. And thanks for watching.